Alright Goombas, welcome back to my real estate tour. Thanks to all 20 of you who watched my last video. One of those was my mom, the other 19 were me clicking on my own video, so shout out to my mom. Alright, so we're gonna have to go over some of these stuff because Minecraft updated, so it removed my shaders. It's delayed, and then the video got corrupted like halfway through, so I don't remember where we left off, but yeah, whatever. I guess we'll start here. I mean, this street's just apartments, and like, tried to go for the tight city street winding thing. It's pretty darn rootin' tootin'. I don't think we've gone over the castle, so we'll go over the castle. It's modeled after Stirling Castle up in Scotland. I visited there, and I thought it was really cool when I built this a while ago now, so that's what it's modeled after. Got the nice little moat river going through underneath the bridge here. Needs to be updated, but whatever, it's all good. Here's your gatehouse, and here we've got smaller gates that can be opened for individuals, and then we have our cart portcullis thingy. Pretty neat. This is the first main courtyard. Back side of the front gate, we got a well here for water, put out fires and whatever else. These are like officer buildings or military offices, whatever, for the garrison. Got our stables over here for people that are visiting. This is a garden type thing, I was kind of thinking, because if there's people living up in the castle, probably want some kind of garden. Little lookout post. In real life, this had cannons on it overlooking a big valley, but in my instance, no cannons. It's Minecraft, so get over it. This is the top part of the rose garden. Again, just like people living here might enjoy some greenery instead of just stone walls. More. This is another like office building, officers' quarters, barracks, whatever, place for people to, soldiers to sleep. Let's come back. Going over this way, this is the front side of the Great Hall, where the king would host parties or whatever, or royalty. So this is actually a back entrance. In here's the main entrance, through here into the secondary courtyard. So this would be your main entrance. I've got some stained glass. Inside, I actually did the interior for this one, believe it or not. We got big old fireplace over there, big old fireplace over there. Up there would be where the band would play. That spot right there is for a crier, so you can see the front door. If somebody walks in, he would announce who it is. We got table for food. This is where your royalty lord and lady would sit during the feast. Filled some space here. The ceiling's really cool. It's kind of like a self-supported ceiling. It was in real life, so I tried to mimic that here. So that's what I got. It's pretty okay. Out here's a back door. So those are the stairs up to the crier's little chambers thing. And then through all these doors, you've got a back entrance, maybe an escape, or over here would actually be the kitchen. So the food would come up from here, out into here, into there for the feasts or for dinner or whatever. And this just comes out back out into the main courtyard. So let's go into this building here. Underneath, so this is the palace, a royal apartment thing, where they would live. Underneath is storage and dungeons. Again, would be in real life. This is like a armory storage area. Cart storage, lots of crates and whatever. Had a neat little courtyard thing in here, interior. Underneath, there was a lion that they would keep as a pet. Don't have a lion, so it's a polar bear. So that's pretty cool. More dungeon space back here. Bigger cells for more special prisoners. They get the first class punishment treatment. Up here, this was the nursery in the actual castle. So for me, it's just an empty room because that's how everything is here. Empty rooms. That's where the children would be raised by the nannies and whatnot. And then in here is the actual apartments, bedrooms, dining tables, throne for meetings, waiting room to see the lord and lady, more bedrooms. This is a passageway down into the secondary courtyard. Got our fountain here. These are the king's like private buildings, offices and storage and whatever else he wanted. This is the chapel that's on site, so they can come to Sunday Mass. For me, they're going to be worshipping an apple. Tried to mimic the stained glass. The reason I use sandstone is because in real life it's painted this bright orange gold color called King's Gold, and it was so everybody around the kingdom could see that that was an important building. And the same with the chapel, so I tried to mimic that with sandstone best I could. Here's their stables, the king's horses, and like extra storage. So he can completely be separated from the rest of the castle, really, if he wanted to be. This is his private garden, the little gardener's shed. Again, greenery, because realistically they didn't have to leave the castle if they didn't want to. So yeah, this is like a nice overview of it all. Took me forever to build. It was a long time ago, so it probably needs some updating. There's been new blocks added that would probably be good everywhere, but that's the castle. I think it came out pretty cool. It's got a nice silhouette. If you fly over the town here, look back that way, it's got a really nice silhouette. So, pretty neat. You can look at some of this foliage that I did down here. So this river stream thing I built, and then I built it up on this mountain here to give it some height over the land, and then this valley I turned into a little lake with a stream stemming out of this mountain I built, and I'm working on covering it in trees slowly. But yeah, this mountain's pretty cool. It's all hollow, and then eventually I'm thinking of putting some kind of mining system in here, maybe, or caverns or something. I don't know. Whenever I have time, who cares? Okay, so back over here, let's go over to here. I think this is where I left off on the last video before it got corrupted. So this is this is a gate outside of the apartment area into some more of the farmland, kind of villagey looking things. The stream comes all the way down here, empties into that river lake thing. So these are more like farmy buildings, kind of a more town extended out this way. Got a pumpkin patch, which I think came out pretty nice. Using the cucumbers as stems, kind of cool. Gives it some height and depth. So yeah, the pumpkin farmer would live maybe here. And then all these buildings are empty because I'm a really good builder at facades and not doing interiors because I'm lazy. Same deal, kind of went for the street look. Oh boy. Went for like the tight streets, kind of tried to cover it in green so it's nice and lived in and grown over. Got another church here. This one is kind of furnished, but not as much. It's pretty much just mimicked after the other chapel church in town, except the door's on this side now. So, variation's pretty neat. I tried to give some height here and like different I tried to change the height up a little bit on the streets so it's not all just flat, and like the roofs can have different heights and stuff. It makes it look a little bit more I guess lived in. It's almost nighttime here. We'll sleep so it's not super dark. More houses, some little private gardens are neat. This one's a little bakery. Gave it a nice window so you can see inside. So people passing by look in the window, go, ooh, cake, and then they come in and they can buy moldy stale bread because this guy's a scam. It's a cheat. That's why he lives out here in this part of town. So continuing on, just take this road all the way out. This is like the newest part of the town that I've been working on. This guy, little house, I'm planning on making like a speakeasy, dig down into like the mountain here and have it be a hobbit hole kind of thing. Have everybody be able to, or it'll be nice, like, I kind of want to do something Lord of the Rings inspired, I guess. And I think it would be kind of cool there, because there's a little hill behind it. Let's take a peek at it. So there's a hill that is built onto, and I'm thinking that entire thing could be a hobbit hole. So eventually that'll be there. Some more houses. I want to start incorporating some more market stalls out here, so maybe vendors are selling in this part of town. Nice little tree with some lights hanging onto it, and a little bench, you know. And then if you notice, going this way, I'm kind of starting to do more of the apartment thing where all the houses are connected, because this is going to be another, like, more established, maybe streetsy feeling part because of the cathedral here. I modeled the cathedral after Notre Dame, but it still needs work. The walls all need textured, there needs to be windows installed, and the interior needs to be done. But I think shape-wise it came out nice for Notre Dame. So yeah, they built it up on a little plinth, and then again around it you can kind of see the groundwork for some buildings that are gonna wrap around it, and that way it'll feel more. This area will feel different than the rest of the town. It won't feel as rural. Continuing this way, this street takes you to the port. There's some side roads that you can take, so this one goes back this way, and it's just more buildings. You can see it kind of snakes back that way. This is also super, it needs a lot of work. I've been chipping at it a little bit. I just built this boat, so this is my first attempt at a boat in a long time. So it came out okay, I think. It fits for what it needs to be. These little spots here I thought were kind of cool. They're like little underground storage that maybe some captains or shipping companies can rent out at the port, so they don't have to carry as much around. They can leave stuff here, like shipments can be left there. We got 2 cranes, which came out pretty nice. Again, here's my boat. Just like a sloop kind of thing with a bunch of shipping. Like they're traders, so they're coming in with goods and whatnot to deliver to the city and sell. I think I might add some market stalls around here to make it feel a little bit more lively. We have a fish vendor here, or a fisherman. Maybe he sells some fish, or maybe whatever. That could be a shop. Needs more boats for sure, but for now that's what I got. Yeah, you can see this is all empty, untouched pretty much, so eventually this will all sprawl through here, but whenever I get to it. Here's my lighthouse. This is pretty neat. Built it up on a little rock, and then it's a nice fire lighthouse, kind of. Show ships where they need to come into port. This place over here, this bigger building, is like the Fisherman's Guild, I was thinking. So maybe have some guilds and traders be powerful on the port, you know, have some lore. It really likes to rain here. It really likes to rain here, and I really hate the rain. Okay, so continuing this way, you can see port's nice and contained here. It needs a lot of work, but it is what it is. So, going back this way, let's take this little road that I pointed to earlier, snakes off this way. More town, just more buildings. A lot of them are the same, or they look the same, and a lot of them, they all are empty. Up here's a nice little beet field, because I didn't have any of those and needed to fill this space, and felt like more buildings above the port would be funky to have buildings sitting above where people would be working, houses and whatnot. Walking through here. This is the back side of the castle, so we're outside of the town now, really. Town's all back that way. Wheat field that I just installed, planting. I think I'm going to cover this outside with wheat fields and trees and whatnot to make it feel more lived in, and like the land can be used instead of just being open fields like this. This is kind of a neat little thing I've added. Down here I saw this little hill, and I thought maybe dig in a cave, and it could be like a pirate cove or a smuggler's cove. So that's kind of what I did. We got a little smuggler's cove in here. Needs work, some stalactites and stalagmites coming down, and like make it feel more cave-like, I guess. But you know, maybe these people are selling illegal goods, or they don't want to pay the port taxes or whatever. So got a little boat here that they come in off of a ship outside and dock it here, deliver their illegal goods, and then head out. So kind of cool. It gets really dark in there without the shaders on and everything, so nice and ambiance. Coming out here again, fields are kind of empty. Working on a forest out here to fill in some land, but these trees kind of take me a little bit, and it's kind of brainless work, so whatever. It's going to start raining again. Watch. Back side of the chapel, and then I tried to fill these fields. This is kind of my thought, is fill them with some of the new moss and some trees and stuff, and make it feel like a glen or a meadow. So that's what I'm working on. That's a mountain I've kind of built up, and you can see it in the back. It's in progress to block off the desert, which is that way. Keep going this way. This is the back side of that mountain I built. Trees need to be continued there. Yeah, so this road, let's take this left fork first, because this is kind of a smaller thing. This is the back gate, is kind of what I was describing it as, to the desert kingdom. So maybe your guards will, this is like a outpost that guards would live at, maybe full time. Right now it just goes into the mountainside, but it's a little guard gate to protect, or to be a back gate for the desert city that's over there. Because if these two kingdoms are fighting, maybe this would be a flanking path or whatever, or a path that they can come through this mountain pass. So I thought that was a cool addition. So back to the fork in the road. If we go right, it takes us up into another village, like a Germanic Viking kind of style village. And here we've got another little stable for travelers or whatnot before they come and go. And then we've got wheat fields and more of these A-framed Germanic buildings. And they're kind of just built up onto this hill. This is like your central, this is like the chieftain's hut maybe, or the main hall where people come to talk and have dinner or whatever, and then the rest are just houses that kind of go nowhere. You can see underneath of this, it's all hollow. So that's kind of, you can see I built it the cliff side here, and then built up, and then you're on a hollow earth theory. This is really how the earth is. It's all hollow. There's dinosaurs in there. I'm convinced. Okay. So yeah, try to fill all the nooks and crannies with fields and carrots and trees, and make this feel nice and lived in. You can see the outside needs work though. There's nothing out here. Got a lot of houses and structure and warehouses out here. Maybe I was thinking of doing like a pulley system or like some kind of crane system to lower fishing boats down into the ocean from here. So maybe they do fishing off the cliff, or I don't know. Just a thought. So yeah, and then we got all these fields out here. So maybe this is how they produce their food. Got some destroyed ones over here. Old buildings. Maybe the families moved, or the owner died and they kind of just fell to ruin. Add some story to this place. And then out here, if we continue following this path, it leads out to the savannah. Just kidding. Goes to this bridge and this cool like inlet on the river, or the river comes in through here from the ocean, and I was planning on, you can see the mountain's going to start extending that way. Maybe that river snakes up into the mountain, or comes from the mountain, or whatever. We got this bridge that leads down to this like mission seminary kind of thing, also hollow. But I really like the idea of using the bricks for... Anyway, as I was saying, the seminary mission thing wanted to use bricks for the roofs, so this is where this came from. I wanted to make it kind of historically defensible, so you have your front main gates there, this first courtyard, side door into the church where they would go and pray and have their bigger services, storage, warehouse kind of thing. Over here is like the kitchen where they would make all the food, bake bread, whatever, but it's hollow because I'm lazy. Got a clock, or not a clock tower, a bell tower. And again, I tried to fill all the nooks and crannies here, so this is like a nice little sitting area with some trellis windows and some greenery growing in there. Here's your secondary gate, so somebody breaks in to raid through there, have a secondary gate to defend. This is like the dormitories where they would live while they're working here or learning here. This idea was like classrooms, and like maybe offices, so some smaller rooms up there. Here's your chapel. You can tell by the stained glass and the lack of interior that it's a chapel. The So this is where they would come and pray like daily, so they don't have to use the big cathedral church thing. And then here's a little side door out into an empty space, which should have some garden in it, and then another side door out onto the to look out over the water, which has this wraparound path, which is pretty neat. This thing has a cool silhouette from the ocean. I kind of like how it's built into the land there. So yeah, and then one thing, another work in progress. This place I haven't touched too much, obviously. Everything's a work in progress. There's like a little cemetery, and then down here is going to be like a catacombs. The idea is like a burial crypt kind of thing. Maybe like a Skyrim dungeon or something along those lines, inspired that way. Might look kind of cool. So there's a little flyover of the fields and the village and everything. Oh, this is kind of cool too. If you look out from the ocean onto this, you've got the big cliffs and the castle and everything, and the coast and the forest kind of stemming up above it. So kind of a cool silhouette. Definitely took a long time. You see the white line going through. I tried to keep that geologic feature. Maybe there's a layer of diorite going through, and you can kind of see how it's been mushed around. So yeah, lots of stuff to do, but lots of stuff here as well. Next, what I've been working on most recently is this area around the cathedral. I'm going to start filling this in. So next time you see this, there's going to be more stuff there. And hopefully I can fill in more space with little details and stuff. That's the castle and extended part that way. I don't think I'm going to go... I've been recording for 23 minutes, so I'll show off the exit towards the sand village, I guess, and then I'll leave it there and try again next time. So here's the current exit towards the sand village. You can see it there, the silhouette. That's also very, very, very much in progress. Right now, the most recent thing I've done is start this river coming down from the mountain to kind of be a natural border between the desert and the grassy fields. Those toads are a little far from home. They were in the river here, but they're pretty cool. That one's named Steve. That one's named Steve. That one's named Steve. And that one is a flower. So, anyway, thanks for watching. All 20 of you and my mom. Hi, Mom. Yeah, thanks, and see you in the next